Hi everyone, this is the fourth part, should be the last part for July 16, 2010. If you go to my website, www.dimoraministry.com, you'll be able to scroll down after you see this video and you'll see the links there for these articles that I'm going to be sharing with you today, connecting the dots between Bible prophecy and current events. I want to continue on with the intense heat that we see coming from Revelation, that Jesus told John about the intense heat that was going to come to scorch the people, and there'd be problems with water, people becoming thirsty, and so forth. Let me go on to another article, and this was an update from yesterday that was happening in Russia, because Russia's melting under the heat. It says Russians sweltered Friday in the hottest weather since Stalin era as droughts caused the crop devastation across the country, and hundreds drowned in bathing accidents, often influenced by alcohol. Well, first of all, we have the intense heat. We have droughts associated with this, and this is essentially what we see in Matthew 24, in Mark 13, and Luke 21, those chapters there, warning about droughts and famines and plagues and whatnot. It's happening now, all at the same time. And I keep mentioning all of these things happening at the same time because that's what Jesus said to look for. In Matthew chapter 24, he tells us that when you shall see all these things come to pass, know that it's near, even at the door. And so we know it is very, very near. Now, let me go on. Friday was expected to break the record in Moscow, topping 33 degrees Celsius. The highest temperatures of the day since 1938. Again, those birth pangs. And according to the State Weather Center, it goes on, at the weekend, the temperature was forecast by the State Weather Center to hit 37 degrees in central Russia. An emergency drought situation, again the mention of the drought, just like the prophecy says, has been declared in 19 of Russia's 83 regions, with crops dying on an estimated 9.6 million hectares of fields. And just in case you don't know, 33 Celsius is actually 91.4 degrees. And if they're going to get hotter weather this weekend, which is at 37 Celsius, it's actually 98.6 degrees. Now, the crop destruction would equal to, when it talks about 9 million hectares, they're actually referring to, or telling us, 27.7 million acres of crops have been fried, essentially, is what they're saying. Again, birth pangs. Put it all together. One or two pieces to this puzzle wouldn't help you to see the picture, but we're putting them all together, and you'll see all of these documentations. This big puzzle is put together in my book, The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth, which you can download again for free. Now, in my February 2nd, 2010 post, I warned you about what Jesus said about Revelation chapter 6, verse 6, where Jesus shows us in the last days people are going to be working all day long for one small meal. Just a handful of wheat or barley. And we know that the crops are going to be taken out. I've been warned about that. And the more crops that are destroyed, the higher the price is going to come for you to buy those products. And this is what's happening in many places around the world. The bread baskets of the world are in droughts. And I point this out, and I bring this all information from my book. Now, let me go on. It says, in that one prophecy, it does say, by the way, and I'm going to quote it, a quart of wheat for a day's wages, and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages, and do not damage the oil and the wine. So, just as I told you on July 7th of 2009 that you would see more crops killed by diseases, I want to warn you again right now to look for more news that the heat is going to take out a lot of the crops. In many parts of the world, we've already started to see this, but it's actually taken place. Russia isn't the only nation that's baking. Even today, again, America has set records as well. Now, another prophecy, Zechariah 12:3, we know that in the last days Israel is going to be separated and left alone. And anybody who dealt with Israel, Jerusalem, as I said previously in my other video, that God was going to destroy those nations. Now, Barack Obama is in fact trying to divide Israel, and he's trying to give East Jerusalem back, so he put Israel under stress, or he's put Israel under stress, but he's put the curse on America, which is far worse. Now, a lot of people say that during this time, we're looking at Barack Obama as the Antichrist, and I've been showing you that Barack Obama is not the Antichrist. He doesn't have the characteristics, the qualities that Christ showed us that he was going to have, and the Word tells us that he was going to have. This massive power and whatnot, being able to take care of complex problems, issues, and handle them. Everyone in the world was going to come to him. He was going to be an orator, a great orator, people looking at him for answers. Obviously, when you look at the poll, when you scroll down to this page that I'm going to give to you at my website, you see that Barack Obama's approval is in tanking. It says 46% say that Obama is pro-Palestinian. In other words, I'm connecting the dots here between what Zechariah told us and the qualities of the Antichrist. This man, Barack Obama, his polls are just tanking, showing us that he is not the man that the world is going to flock over. And he's taken a position with the Palestinians, and this is what the Jews believe in Israel. Jay Post, only 10% of the Israelis think the U.S. president is pro-Israel. And so we see that his stance, his policies, are heading towards Zechariah 12:3, where Israel is left alone. Now, America was one of the few nations that were really supporting Israel. Now, up until Barack Obama stepped into the place, he's really changing that whole atmosphere. The Israelis see it. People in the United States, as well as other nations, are seeing that Israel and the Americans are starting to separate. The distance between them is starting to separate. And so this poll shows it, that not only is Barack Obama's poll dropping, showing he doesn't have the influence, and if you think that he's the Antichrist, you're going to be misled when the true Antichrist comes, and he is so powerful. He has the miracle power work. He does not have the miracle power, Barack Obama. He doesn't have the power to figure out how to handle all these things, but the Antichrist will do that when he first comes on the scene. You have to read the scriptures. Barack Obama's been here going on his second year now. They're going to have elections in November, and his polls have just virtually made him a non-existent important figure in the world. This is not the quality of the Antichrist. Now, according to the book of Daniel, we see no mention of America in there. You can scroll down, you'll see another article there that it talks about the America's dollar shrunk again on the world market. We see the decline of America, part of the curse, and also the struggle in America, the spiritual warfare where America is trying to get rid of, most of America seems to want to get rid of anything that has to do with Jesus Christ. And there was an article there that a guard came out and told a high school or a junior high school group that was praying in front of the Supreme Court, you can't stop praying. He demanded that they stop because they were violating the law. And we see these kinds of things showing up in schools and in government meetings all over the place. Satan is working overtime. Now, there is scripture where Paul warned that our struggle is not against the flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against their authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Satan is working on not just America, but he's working on many of the other nations around the world, trying to strip Jesus from the world. This is what Jesus told us was going to happen, and again, it's happening when all the rest of the prophecies are taking place. Please, listen to what I'm saying. It's from the Lord, His own word. Give your life to Jesus. Accept that free gift and stay out of the tribulation. If you don't blame any of us if you're there. It's your choice. You will put yourself there. Get out. Bye-bye.